the volume.
Turn up the volume.
You've arrived at the destination for all things Kentucky. This is the Bleed Blue Network Podcast.
What is going on, Big Blue Nation? All UK ball coming at you. And even though both of us, Selena, are fueled off of caffeine and a bit delirious, we are not going to bring
today, Rando.
coffee, double energy drinks, a pre-workout, whatever it takes to get us through this one. But we're going to bring the energy. We are not going to look like a Kentucky locker room on Saturday, which resembled more of a funeral home than it did a college basketball locker room. So we are not going to do that. Jaxson Robinson's wrist is going to cost him to be out for us the season, but he did not die. So let's wake up a little bit and let's get through the rest of the season because we have more games to play.
Yes, we do. And you're right. Saturday. Look,
I can't blame them. I mean, that's like their boy, right? And they probably found out the night before, maybe even that morning, depending on what happened. So I get it. And I understand why Mark Pope was so down because, again, that was his dude. That's the dude we waited until like May or June, the guy who got pulled out of the draft to come help Kentucky and build this roster, or I should say complete this roster and be the Georgia Moore to Kenny Brooks, right? So that was his role. Be the coach on the court, have someone who's in the system. So I understand why the somber attitude and why it was a little bit tough to get up for the number one team in the country. And, but that's got to get behind us. That's got to get behind us. At this point, he's not coming back. The roles have to be solidified and it's not going to be easy. But play for him now as like, hey, let's go get one for you and make a special run, even though you're not going to be on the court. He's still going to be a part of the team.
Yeah, and I get that it's hard to lose a teammate like that, like especially right now, and especially since everyone else seems to come back healthy. But it can't translate to what happened to Saturday. On Saturday, you know what I mean? Like you said, he's not dead. He's just not playing the rest of the year. He's still very much there. But I don't know. And people are going to want to blame the refs for Saturday. They're going to say, and listen, the refs, some of the calls were dog shit. Okay. Some were terrible.
They were bad.
That three that they said Carr fouled the guy, didn't even touch the guy. Okay. Like, the
other one on Kelly where he kicked his leg out on, I think, was that on Ortega again where he got a cheap one?
Way. Yeah.
Definitely some missed calls, but all right. Let's run through this. I got some of the stats up because yes, the refs made questionable calls and they were like big in the moment calls, especially for key players. We've seen this happen with Ortega before. He can't get in foul trouble early. The team, especially with Jaxson Robinson not playing, just can't seem to recover without him on the court.
Right.
But if I read you off some of these stats, you would tell me, or at least I would think, that most fans, Kentucky fans, would say, we were at least in this game, right? Like they would question, like, oh, it must have been a close game, which we all know now it wasn't. But we shot 46% from the field for the game.
Yeah.
We got to the line 38 times.
UK did?
Yes, we got to the line 38 times to their 31.
Damn, we actually outshot free throws on somebody?
Yes. Rebound margin. We had 38 to their 23. We had 12 offensive rebounds to their 5. We had 26 defensive rebounds to their 18. We had 12 assists to their 8. And that's about and 34 points in the paint compared to their 26.
Yeah, but they had a dude shoot 9 and make 9
that's where
threes.
it falls apart. That's about where it starts falling apart.
Like,
So
Amari,
we got up
like,
50 shots. They got up 56 shots. And they shot 46% from three. They went 12 for 26. Yeah, one dude had 30. Miles Kelly went off. And
he
the
had
big piece
9,
of that
didn't he?
game, yeah, I think it was too many. I thought it was either 8 of 14 or 9 of 14. But and then honestly, the big piece of the game is we out rebounded them, but we gave that margin right back in total turnovers. We had 18 turnovers in the game.
The turnovers,
for
especially the first to
21
start.
points.
The turnovers to start the second. So here, keep in mind, I'm in a gym again. I'm not even watching the game on my usual spot, okay? So bail on me if you want to. That's fine. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm in the gym watching my daughter do her thing with percussion, whatever. Okay, and I'm watching the game on my phone, and I literally just looked at what happened, and I just put my phone down slowly and just went back to watching what I was watching because I was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is not UK. This is not good. Like, and it was so discombobulated, and I get it. Their defense, like the way they were switching everything, did cause a lot of problems. It really did. Like it was. I don't know why, but it did. And I don't think we ever really adjusted to that. I mean, we shut down Jedi Broom, but
walk for most of that game. The offense looked good. I mean, Bray, again, one stat I didn't even mention was Bray had 21. Bray had 21 points and
in 38 minutes.
Yeah, and so he looked good. I will go to my grave. I know this is not a funeral podcast, like I just said, but I will go to my grave saying that our take about Amari dominating or at least controlling Broom was correct.
He did.
In the first half,
1,000%.
Broom had a single point, I believe. I think it was a single point.
It was from one, and it
from
came
a free
for the
throw,
end
right?
of the half on a free throw. Yep.
Yeah.
For the end of the half. Like, Amari did his thing on Broom. Like, he shut him down to where he was essentially almost a non-factor, especially in the first half. The problem was Miles Kelly banked in 2 threes back to back, and then after that, the hoop was as big as the freaking Atlantic Ocean, and he couldn't miss anything. Like, very annoying. But here's the problem too. I guess people are saying, "Oh, Auburn," and we said this too. Auburn's gettable, but like when they're playing like they played, where they don't have to rely on their best player, and they still do that, they're really, really, really freaking good. Like, and the stats that are about this team, they're proving it. They are on the same level as a 2015 UK team, which we all know how good that team was. So
yeah, I mean, in the calculus of hey, you got to shut down Broom, which he did. He got 9 points and 6 rebounds. This is the dude who's second in the National Player of the Year conversation, and just got dominated. What was not in the calculus was Chad Baker-Mazar going for 22, Miles Kelly going for 30, and Pettiford coming off the bench going for 21. We knew Pettiford was that dude.
79 points.
We knew Pettiford was that dude. Now, my take was he isn't the prototype, the archetype of the point guard who has beaten us in the past. Like he's not the Edwards from Vandy. He's not the dude from Texas. Oklahoma. He's not fierce from Oklahoma. Like those dudes who are shifty, can get downhill, great ball skills. They were tearing us up, especially with Lamont out. Pettiford wasn't that dude, but he's a guy who can get it going quick, and he can get downhill. But if he gets 20 and we hold Broom, that's fine. But again, we can't let, second or, even third and fourth, role players go for career numbers. I mean, I don't know what Chad Baker-Mazar's career high was or is. He's been.
I know Miles Kelly had a career high.
Yeah, it had to at 30. But 22 points, and that's a dude we talked about before. The instigator that he is, if he's seeing the ball go in the hoop, I mean he's having a field day out there on the court. He's gonna be a problem because he steps up defensively. Yeah, he gets in everybody's head. He did exactly his role of what he is for that team. He did it to perfection, and he got a big offensive game out of it. So, it's it stinks that the beginning of that second half was really what it was, and it still seemed like the team was kind of in shock. They didn't seem connected. Yes, I know the defense, like you mentioned, switching, and it kind of caused havoc. It sped Kentucky up, but some of these passes were like it was. There was one from Ortega, a bounce pass over, and it was just easy steal. Like they weren't paying attention. One of them went out of bounds. Pass to Lamont Butler went out of bounds. There was one they tried to hit.
There's one to Bray out of bounds in the corner. He's wide open, and it went just sailing past him.
Amari down there in the post was getting fronted. He was trying to get a lob. They missed him like crazy. He's 7 foot. Like
I think that happened a couple of times though. Like I feel like, it just wasn't. It just wasn't a good. Inspiring. Well, yes, but as far as like fundamentals go, it was not a good fundamental game at all for the boys, unfortunately. But I mean, I don't know. Auburn's just good.
Yeah, they're very good. Very, very good. And if you're going to get them, it's got to be your best effort on both sides of the ball. It has to be like a perfect game, I think. Almost a perfect game to get them. Like, I mean, it really does. Like, or make them play outside of themselves, which I think we did. But that's really hard to do, though. Yeah, I would argue that we did to a certain extent because they want to run their offense through Broome. They consistently in the first half and even in the second half kept trying to get that going. But you let somebody else see a big rim, like you said, and it'll kill you, especially when you're giving them extra shots. 18 turnovers for 21, and that's the thing. I know a lot of people were upset about the defense. They were saying it's you can win the rebound margin, or it's tough for the other team to get offensive rebounds if they're constantly seeing the ball go through the hoop. But if you have 21 points off of turnovers and 22 fast break points, that's going to skyrocket your shooting percentage up. So I don't even know that our on-ball defense was that bad on the first shot, but if and even on the second shot, because they weren't getting a lot of offensive rebounds. But when you're letting them get to the hoop easy because of fast break, or they're able to set up some offense because they are a half-court type offense team, run some sets through Broome, like we said. When you give them those extra opportunities to do that, especially for, like we said, the number one team in the nation, and it's not even really close. Duke is second, but and I think they have the head-to-head matchup. But if you had to tell me right now, Auburn is a lock for a Final Four right now.
They play Duke at Duke though too, which is
and earlier in the season.
It's always good for a couple of points. And Auburn lost by 2. So, that was earlier this season. The thing about Auburn too is, they want to run their offense to deny Broome, but they have 6 players that average double figures, I believe. And every one of those players are capable of absolutely going off any given night. Like they have dudes, you know what I mean? Like they have dudes that aren't scared to just do whatever. And a lot of that, I think, comes from how Bruce Pearl coaches, which reminds me, Bruce, I really hope your tires disappear, by the way, for that pregame speech. By the way, I hope they disappear from your vehicles. All of them are gone. I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, one, yes, we all know how I feel about Bruce Pearl on this particular show. 2, motivating as hell, and 3, highly accurate. So like, I don't, you hate him for it, but it's like, hey, he got the right words to get his boys going. And then he comes out and tries to be babyface after in the post game with like, I've won a lot at Rupp, so why would you want me to be your coach? Shut up.
He wouldn't crawl on broken glass for this job.
He has been lobbying for this job since Tennessee. So
this man would crawl on broken glass that was lit on fire by the sun. Okay, arms, legs missing, he would find a way.
Yeah. But just to wrap that up, is I think we see. We have an older team, but you see what Auburn has in an older team that has continuity and been playing
older than we are.
Yeah, and they've been playing for a long time together. National Player of the Year doesn't help, and then you just sprinkle in a freshman like Pettiford who can go off on any given night, and then you're going to be okay. Chad Kelly, where he transferred from Georgia Tech. Where did he come from? But I
believe so. It's one of those Georgias.
Finding a way to find some stuff in the portal, get yourself connected, and they look really good. But enough giving Auburn their flowers. Bruce Pearl, you still suck. Chad Baker-Mazara, you still suck. And Janai Broom.
Fight him.
Janai Broom, you still got dominated by one of the best center, if not the best center in college basketball. So we will take the moral victory there and say that our take was right. We just missed some of the some of the second and third order effects that potentially come from Janai Broom not having a good game.
We missed the outliers. That's all right.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about Jaxson Robinson, season-ending surgery.
JRob, my boy.
Why are we allowed to have nice things?
I swear to all that is holy, somebody has put a curse on this program. I swear. We need cleansed. We need the holy we need the shamans. We need witch doctors. We need something.
I thought that was over. I thought it was going to be over. Coach Pope comes in. We get rid of Coach Cal and the Catholic Jesus. Now we get Mormon Jesus. And I'm thinking maybe I think they have their own thing, I think, or like Zion or something they call it. I don't know. I watched that show, or I forget. But like Brigham Young was supposed to come and help us out. And that's obviously not the case.
I thought it was Cal too. But I'm convinced now it's the program.
Yeah, it might be. The program is somebody sold their soul for a 2012 title. Someone hexed us. Something happened. Because it is, I think. Yeah, because even when we have a healthy team, the whole world goes to shit and COVID happens and we can't even play that tournament.
Something happened, okay? Because I don't know of another team that has lost so many key pieces and key players year after year after year like we have. Like, I don't understand.
There's one common denominator. We got a new basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's Mitch Barnhart.
Oh, shit. That's all. Well, maybe.
Maybe? I'm just saying.
Maybe. I mean.
It was a great hire, but maybe he just got to.
Did he sell his soul for the 2012 championship? Yeah. Because
he's made some questionable decisions. But
that's not true. You might not sell your soul. We're just trying to figure out what's going on, by the way.
Yeah. We're just talking jokes. Now, that being said, if we want to hire Rick Pitino to be the athletic director, peace. All right. See ya.
All day, every day. Thank you.
Yeah. Talk about selling your soul. I don't know if that's an upgrade. I love Ricky P, but my goodness. Yeah. Oh, man. And
he will die a coaching basketball game. Okay, he will not. He will not quit. He will not quit.
I still have faith that he'll find himself to be the GM of Kentucky basketball at one point. But I think you're right.
Oh my God, I would love that so much. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm convinced something's been put on the program because it doesn't make any sense to why we have so many injuries like this every single year. And you can't blame it on the training staff because those guys all turned over as well. Like, it's a whole new everything, and still we get hit with awful injuries like this year.
And we talked about the training staff thing. They can't do anything about an impact fall on the court, jacking up somebody's wrist. Like, there's nothing you can do about that.
Kerr breaking his foot randomly, just stepping on the court. Like, what about that? Like, that's why I don't know. I'm not even like. I don't know anything about any of the curse nonsense or the hexes or stuff like that, but I swear to you, that is a thing. Like, I'm convinced.
We need someone to go back into like Kentucky basketball history over the last couple of years because there's a way to beat it. Like, the Detroit Lions brought back Calvin Johnson and gave him his money and said, hey, listen, we are sorry for what we did. The Ford family apologized. The next thing you know, boom, they're competing. So it's something like that. It's got to happen. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But something like we just got to, we got to bring somebody back that we, maybe it's no. I mean, the curse happened before. Devin Askew. I was like, maybe we should have got rid of an Askew and sent him off to San Jose State or wherever the hell he's playing now, Polytech or something.
I'm trying to think. because 2013 was pretty bad year. It started with Nerlens Noel. I'm telling you, it's something on the 2012 team. Okay, we got the championship, but since then has been awful. Somebody gets hurt every year.
But how do we replace him? I think I know how we can replace him and it not be a massive fall off. But
I'm listening.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Go ahead, because I'm curious what you're going to say. Because to be fair, I haven't thought about this. I'm not going to lie to you.
So I'll start off with what I'm going to say is not a knock on Jaxson Robinson. Jaxson Robinson is super talented. He is. If there's anybody on this team that can go off for 30 plus and be like that guy and just get hot from outside and see a big bucket, that's him. And he's the guy who can do it and carry you for a tournament. So losing him is massive. That being said, I think we can slide Kobe in that role and get some good production, similar production to what we got from Jaxson Robinson. One, he can shoot the lights out of the ball, right? He can absolutely just tear it up. Two, what he has done over the last month or so with getting downhill and scoring buckets around the rim and be multiple in his offense, I think it has even been better than what we saw how Jaxson could do it. My frustration with Jaxson was like, if he could do a Reeves style floater, get into the lane and cause havoc for the defense that way. I mean, how many times have we seen him kind of get near the rim and, reverse layup, blow a layup, or just not be able to finish around the rim? Yeah. Kobe has shown that he's a bigger body and can finish that way. And I think if he starts playing that way, and now Kobe has to get more aggressive. You saw play, especially in this last Auburn game, where coach is drawing him up something, and it's like, but you have the distance, you got to shoot it, and he's looking for the best shot instead of taking the good shot, and like the one example I think Brandon Ramsey put it out. Of like, hey, they ran the delayed screen. He comes off. There was the fake handoff. Take the second handoff. Get at the top of the key, and like you have the distance to shoot that ball, especially with your length and your high release. Yeah,
he's so tall, and his release is so high. Like he should have. I agree with that, and the fact that I feel like he reverted a little bit in some regards on Saturday to having to do the shot fake dribble thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we saw that a lot more Saturday than we had seen it in the previous games. But, I mean, granted, he did have 21 on Saturday, so maybe this guy, he has to do that. But there are a couple instances, I agree for sure, that he passed up an open look for a more contested shot or somebody else to shoot the ball or to do something with it. So while I do agree that Brea's gonna have to step up and take on more of one of the kind of the Jaxson scoring role, I think Ansley's gonna have to step up big too.
Agreed.
And I know he's not been playing a lot, and I don't really know why. I don't know if it's a matchup issue with defense or I don't really know why. But he, even in the game though, it still seems kind of off a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. Something's going. It's weird.
It is weird, and especially in a game like Auburn where you had to shoot yourself back into it. And even when it was close, when he was on the floor briefly, is when we made the runs, just because of the gravity that he kind of pulls off to that corner and opens up more space. Yeah. So, I mean, unless he was just that much of a liability on defense. But again, when you get yourself down 20, it's like, we can't go shot for shot with these guys. Doesn't matter. Like, hope they start missing shots and we can put dudes in that can just make shots.
It's weird.
But
I don't know.
So again, these numbers account for Brea's early season where he wasn't getting, 30 minutes a game plus when Jaxson was gone. So for the season, Jaxson Robinson, 13 points a game, Brea, 11.2. 3.2 rebounds for Brea, 3.5 for Robinson. Brea's at 1.2 steals. Robinson's at 1.7 assists. And then we get into the shooting percentages. Brea's at, from the field, he's at 46. Jaxson was at 43%. 3-point percentage, it's much higher, 44 for Brea, 37 for Jaxson Robinson. And I'm not saying they're the same player. I'm not saying it's plug and play.
Right.
But I am saying that if we can get him to play a little more aggressive and he can take on that role and just elevate his game a little bit, I think if Jaxson Robinson is an A+, we can slide in Brea and get B to B+ type minutes from him.
Yeah.
And especially if he's engaged on the defensive side of the ball, like he's shown that he can be, now we're really cooking with something, because that's where Jaxson Robinson, even when he wasn't great offensively, was so consistent. Like his length and his ability to play through his chest and his ability to have some lateral quickness and stay in front of his man. He was great defensively. I don't think he got the credit he deserved for that. So if Brea can step up there, I think we can actually fill that role without seeing such a massive drop off. Now, are we going to get the potential of a 30+ point game from Brea? Yes, but probably a lot less of likelihood than it would be from Jaxson, and definitely less likelihood to have multiple of those games, right? But I don't think we need that with this team. I mean, we go back to the Auburn game, a game that we were just talking about wasn't great. Kentucky against Auburn. Let me pull this back up so I can get the numbers right. Carr had 20. Amari had 13. Brea had 21. Butler had 15. And unfortunately, our bench we had 5 points off the bench.
Our bench laid an egg. That's a problem.
That has to get figured out. And I think part of that getting figured out is Pope stopping with this rotational nonsense of like subbing before we even get to the first media timeout because of potential fatigue. But I think we can slide that in, not a plug and play, but I think we get close to the production where it's not a massive drop off and it's not some of Big Blue Nation saying season is over type thing. Like Brea is a dude. Sorry, is he second round draft pick guy right now? No, like Jaxson was, but he is a dude and he's a college baller who can play the game at this level. That and my last take before you can tell me if you think my opinion is absolute crap, but I think the minutes that Travis Perry got because when Lamont was out are going to be massive. Not because I think he needs to get some extended time as like the sole point guard on the court, but if we don't have Jaxson and we don't have another great ball handler outside of Lamont Butler on the court, I think that limits the offense. So what is this? What can Pope do if he has Perry, Lamont, and Ortega on the court all together? And then you have Brea playing the 4 and Carr playing the 5 when Amari needs some rest, right? And then you go all small ball. And then we get some of that lineup that we loved, kind of like last year when we had Z playing the 5. And we just had dudes all over the court who just shoot the hell out of the ball and play fast. And maybe that, you had the argument of that defensive lineup is just booger outside of, Lamont Butler and Ortega Oweh. The rest of them are just going to get absolutely torched. But if we can just play with pace and play fast and just, we're scoring buckets and we're shooting at a higher clip and can get the other team to play fast and outside of themselves, unforced turnovers and things like that, I would just like for it to look at, because then we can say, okay, Ansley, come in and play some minutes because I know you're going to chase after a board. Noah, you can come in and get some minutes because I definitely know you're going to go chase after some boards. And we have dudes who play that 4 and 5 spot when Amari needs a blow. We got dudes in there who can shoot, who can hustle, and we just kind of confuse the other team and make them again get outside of their normal rotation and say, oh shit, we have to play small now. And hopefully their small ball is a lesser version of our small ball.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That pause means she doesn't like it. Big BBN.
No,
That's what that means. I can see her face.
No. Right
She
now, my brain
doesn't
is
love
tired.
the idea.
No, I do agree that the minutes of Travis Perry are huge. Now, my only issue with Travis right now, and it's just because, and it's not even really an issue. It's just having him come in to give Lamont minutes. You see a drop off, not only defensive side, even though he fights. Travis will fight. He will fight. It's also the aggressiveness with which the offenses ran. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get Lamont needs a break. I get it. They all have to have a break at some point. Okay, I understand that. Well, I also do agree that the subbing should not take place as it does at the moment. But even Pope doubled down today and said Brea and Amari can't play that many minutes. Like, he even said on the radio today, like, they can't. Because I think Brea had 38 and Amari had like 31 or 32, I think is what they ended up with. I do agree that Travis the Miz were invaluable. And so you also mentioned, my brain is everywhere today too, by the way. I apologize for listening to this squirrel moment and purple squirrels and everything else. But you mentioned Brea's defense, so this is what kills me, because he had a couple of games there where his defense was really good. Like, it was a lot of not like, maybe not like super lockdown like we think of Robinson doing on Ziegler from Tennessee, whatever. But his hands are very active. He had a lot of tips, a lot of deflections, led to a lot of steals. And then that sort of fell off. Like, it's like it stopped a little bit. So I don't know what happened there to where that production for the defensive end for Brad disappeared. Right? I don't know what happened there. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to be Coach Pope. I know that much. I don't want to be in his shoes whatsoever. I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah, well, and he's got a big brain staff who can work through it. But
he does.
Here's my thing, Coach. Listen to me.
Bring it in, Coach. Bring it in.
I know. You just said they can't play that many minutes. I just watched them play that many minutes, and they killed it. They killed it. Bray was in the flow of the game. He saw some go through. I just seen them do it. Okay, these dudes are in their low 20s. If they need to play 35 minutes a game, they can do it. And you know what? Some of these dudes aren't going to play ball at this level anymore. So I bet they want to.
Yeah.
So tax the hell out of them and make a run. Like, I'd be hard pressed that, even Lamont, like, again, he's a dude who you have to pull the leash back and say, hey, dude, Brea, same to Ansley. I know it. Amari, all these dudes are like, hey, we got to pull you back. If they want to drive forward and say, I can play this damn game as many minutes as you need to, Coach, let them. It's like when I play football, like, tap the helmet when I need to blow, right?
Right. Pull your jersey.
Make them
do this.
Yeah. Make them point at you, Coach, and say, I'm getting ready to hurl. Get me out of this game, right? And if they're chugging along, again, now the coach has to protect them physically, mentally. Like, they might fatigue, makes you play, outside of yourself, get you in foul trouble. Yes, all those things are going. But, I have a feeling that Amari can do a 6 or 8 minute stretch if he needed to, right?
Mm-hmm. No,
I don't know. I think someone needs to maybe sit him down and be like, hey, bruv, like, as we get into like Fieger or AB, somebody, maybe Mark Fox. Yeah. Mark Fox is probably the guy. Like, he can sit him down. He has a lot of respect for Mark Fox, and be like, dude, did you think Ricky P cared about if you were tired? Come on, man. He would have run your ass ragged if we needed to win a game. So, like, as we get into March, deep into March, if you really want to talk about assignment 9 and understanding the assignment of hanging banners, you need to get every last drop out of these guys that you have on the court. And I say that as a dude who would, like, legit give every piece of myself to be on a court and like drag me off. Like, there's no way in hell, court field, if I'm not coming off that thing unless you are making me do it. And these dudes who Pope has are more mentally tough and have more physical abilities than I do. So I guarantee they have the same mindset.
Yeah, I would hope they have the same mindset. I would hope that they feel that way. I don't know. I think let me see. You also mentioned, you said a lot, Rando. You put me answer all of it one time, and my brain can't keep up with all of that. Okay. A minute ago, and I was like, I'm listening.
I went on a little bit of a rant.
I'm like, I lost it all. Oh no. I know you mentioned Ansley and Trent Noah fighting for rebounds. They do that. I know Ansley had that phenomenal rebound tip to Kobe.
Yep.
Which was amazing. I know Trent
he had two tip outs. Two tip outs.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
board, he was trying to say, I think.
And yeah, that's how I was trying to say that.
I got you.
Trent he crashed really hard on the boards. But I think also for the offense to flow better and to speed it up, we need the non-starters to be as aggressive as the starters in some regards. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need them to drive the ball. We don't need to see them shoot threes. We need them to be aggressive with the ball or aggressive on offense, even however that works. Because a lot of times I'll notice, like, when you have Ansley, Trent, Travis all at the same time, they never really go below the 3-point line. They hang out up there and they pass the ball around and hope someone gets open shot. And while that granted, that is Pope's offense, they're not getting the same the same cuts to the basket either, right? Like, the cutting isn't as aggressive, like, as you're going to have with, like, Owe or Butler cutting, or, you know, when Jackson's there or whatever.
Yeah,
so they're going to have
different type of athlete, right? Like,
right. But that's what I'm saying.
They're going to
have to be
Trent
more
Noah and
aggressive.
goes, this dude is super agile, right? No one yeah, you're like, whew, that boy can get across the court in a hurry. Yeah,
and how they're doing it, right? Like, they have to do, I think, with more, not maybe aggressive, maybe just more intention with what they're doing on the court. Like, hey, like I'm gonna make this cut really hard in front of your face, and then I might stop and go to, you know what I mean, like, be intentional about what they're doing. And I think if they can do that, Colin Chandler too, forgot Colin Chandler, my boy.
Yeah.
If they can be more intentional with what they're doing when they are replacing the starters, I think we won't see as big as a drop off, like, because our bench can't score 5 points and that's win a game. I'm sorry, like, they have got to be more productive.
Yeah, no, I agree, and like, Trent Noah's got to find another way before, you know, when he kind of came up, the Mountain Mamba personality came out, is because that ball was raining from three. He was hitting from the logo.
Yep.
If that ain't happening, I mean, listen, you got to be, you can't just be a single level
crash
scorer.
The boards, like, I mean, he does it well anyway, but crash the offensive boards. Find a smaller guard and post a small guard up. You're 6'4". You're a big body dude at 6'4" as a guard. Okay, post a guard up. Make them give you the ball. Post the guard up. So that's my thing. I'm gonna point something else out, and this might come off as a hot take. I don't even know. I do feel like maybe not as much as Amari as a BG, but I do feel like BG does not trust the freshman as much as he does other players. I've noticed a couple of times where, like, Trent and Travis were open, or Trent was open, or maybe Colin was open, like, on a cut, and he didn't pass him the ball, and he just held on to it until, like, Travis or Brea could come get the ball from him, or maybe Butler. I don't know if that's intentional, and I've just noticed it. Like, I could probably find examples if I wanted to go back and watch game film like that. But I noticed that too. So, like, I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just, hey, like, these people aren't gonna do what, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But but they have been open and they've not got the ball when they should have gotten the ball, I think.
Yeah, I wonder if it's intentional or if he just doesn't quite have the vision that Amari has. You know, the game is kind of just still a little fast for him.
If they're running right beside you, though, Rando, wouldn't you see them in front of your face?
Yeah, I mean, you get questionable decisions from BG, like, you know, he when you're in Oklahoma and he's making shots, you kind of forgive it. But then again, it just, he's, but he kind of forgets he's playing a basketball game sometimes. And, it's like, hey, you just had a great play, but, there's another side of the ball you got to go do, right? You're like, let's kind of, he's got to be big. I think we're going to see more Amari Williams, Brandon Garrison minutes on the floor together. We've seen a lot of it
them on the floor
lately.
Together. I like them on the floor together. No, listen. I like them. It worked at Oklahoma. Okay.
Because BG was making shots.
But they weren't playing together when he made those shots, though. He's the only one on the court. They played together into the game.
Okay.
I don't mind them playing together. Like I like them playing together because, so Andrew Carr and Amari play together, right?
Yeah.
And if anything, BG is more similar to Andrew Carr in the regards that he can shoot the ball and stuff than anything else, right? He's not an Amari player. Okay, he doesn't have the passing ability or the dribbling ability. Like, if anything, he's more similar to Andrew Carr. So I can see where the benefit comes into with having them together, because as long as BG is crashing the glass and being productive, but his defense and once he engages on defense, he's good.
He's probably the best shot blocker on the team.
Not even shot blocking. There were times where he was guarding, I think, the guy from Oklahoma, Fierce, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
he
Fierce.
Was on the perimeter with no problem.
He can definitely use his length to his advantage.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It's when he locks in on defense like that, you have to almost have on the court in games a situation just because he can move so quickly. Carr can't do that. Amari can, but not consistently. You know what I mean? But BG has shown flashes of that. So I don't mind them on the court together in some cases, in some instances. And I know a couple of times on Saturday where they were trying to get the ball, he had a post up and it was open, he had his guy sealed high, whatever, down low, and the passer wasn't there. That's the thing about it is sometimes the pass just isn't there, even though the work was done already by BG or by Carr or whatever else. Right?
Yeah.
If you have a post player doing that and they have their guys sealed off topside and you can't get the ball to them, well, that's not that post player's fault, it's the passer's fault. So
yeah. I just if I'm gonna have Amari on the court, I would much rather have Carr, or if Carr can't be out there, Ansley at the 4, and have somebody that has to actually be respected from 3. Because yes, Brandon Garrison can make it. I think most teams will play the percentages and go, hey, if he makes it, we live with it. But he hasn't shown that he can do it consistently. If he gets hot, he's going to make a bunch. But if he doesn't, then he's laying bricks. And I really think Carr can play that 5 spot because of how well he is in the post. That's the other thing is yes, Brandon Garrison, the way he can stretch the floor is more similar to Carr, but he cannot. His footwork isn't anywhere close to what Carr has. And
we don't have anybody close to Carr, though. I feel
but I'm saying that's what, if he were going to pass him on the block there, and kind of be multiple, and I'm always kind of trying to figure that out. But I would like to just get a few minutes of Carr at the 5. When we saw him to close out Florida for a little bit.
Called out Duke too.
Yeah, Duke. So we've seen it,
and Gonzaga, I think. Yeah.
In all 3 games you just said are games that we've won and had to come back in or hold on a lead to a very good team. That was they were all close games. So see how that kind of does, and if you can get a 3-guard lineup and 3 ball handlers, because then at least you have 2 of the 3. I won't say put Travis Perry in the spot yet, but between Lamont and Otey, you have at least 2 people on the court who can break you down one-on-one and get to the hoop. And you can't just kind of collapse the paint, because if you have Perry, Brea, Ansley at the 3, or I'm sorry, at the 4, or even Trent Noah, and then Carl at the 5. You have to stay on all of these guys because you dish it out. All of them are going to have a good chance to put it in. But my last take on why this season isn't over is because the most important dude on the team is back. And while he said he's playing 85, 90%, he is on the court. And that's Lamont Butler, the dude who's been there, done it, carried a team. I don't care what you tell me. You're not going to convince me that San Diego State team that got to the Final Four is better than the current Kentucky Wildcat team we have right now with Lamont Butler.
No.
Not going to do it.
No.
He carried that team to the Final Four, to the national championship game. And if he stays healthy, we will have a shot because of what he can do with his on-ball defense. He can absolutely just if a team can't get their point of attack going with their point guard, then their offense is probably going to fall apart. And that's what he can do. He can also have a flash and go for 30 plus like he did against Louisville. Like all these point guards, Chucky at Louisville, Zakai in Tennessee, Clayton to a certain extent at Florida, all these dudes who are being, revered as some of the best point guards in the country. Lamont outplayed every single one of them. So if he's on the court, the only people I think at the moment who could like out physical him would be if we got matched up against like a St. John's or Houston, because they're big body, similar type players. Like that potentially gives him a bind. I don't see another point guard in the country where he's across from him and he feels like he's an inferior player.
I don't think Lamont feels that anyways. He's pretty fearless. So.
And but just the fact that he has the experience and goes like, I know what those lights look like. Like when they're shining brightest, I'm going to pull up and hit that shot and take my team to a championship game. So, maybe that's the wild Kentucky fan in me that will find a way to talk us through how we can get a W and get to a Final Four still. But
I'm always a Cats by 90 girl, though. We know this. Like I think they're winning every game. Like every game, we're winning every game.
But outside of the fandom, those are facts. He has been there. He's one of the best point guards in the country when he's on the court, and he has shoulders broad enough to carry this team. And we've seen it happen before. So as long as he can stay healthy and he slowly figures out how to play with this brace, or maybe even we get lucky, knock on wood, he can play with it off at some point and be full 100%. He's on the team. We got a chance.
Yeah, that brace is thick. It's a thick brace.
What's funny, so I had the Generation 1 Don Joy shoulder rotator cuff, to keep it in place thing. And his is like neoprene and it kind of keeps real tight. Mine was Velcro and it had a strap that went from my bicep, connect down to my rib cage. So I would go up and hold it. And when you're playing wide receiver, that really sucks because you go up to big catch on the ball and it's and it just instantly stop and can't raise your right arm anymore. It's like, oh no.
What was that noise again, Rando?
Yeah.
No,
definitely better noise description if this was a video show, because then you could see me raising my hand. But yeah, it's they've definitely evolved since what was this 2008 2009 time frame. So
that's when I had my shoulder surgery too, 2009. I had my
out.
I had both repaired because
I
tore them both.
Yeah,
and my bursa was all jacked up, and it was super fun times. That recovery, by the way, because it sucks.
Yeah,
shoulder surgery recovery is awful.
Yeah, it is 6 months of just not being able to do anything.
You can't sleep. You can't lift your freaking arm. Physical therapy. Oh my god! I remember the first day of physical therapy. Segue. I cried like a bitch because it hurt so bad. I was like, oh my god! And I was in therapy the day after surgery, and I was in tears because it hurt so bad. I was like, this is awful.
Yeah, it took me a minute. I didn't get therapy for a while, but I did find out what happens if you pop those pain medicine like Skittles, because I did not want to be in any pain. The second time they actually gave me like a pump to bring home. The first time I was just sitting there popping oxys.
Oh, I had one of those giant ice packs things.
Oh yeah. Oh
my god, I love that thing.
The
machine or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you eat those things too much, and then you're all bound up tight, and it's bad business, man. That's why I had 2 surgeries on my shoulder, and they said they wanted to do a third one because I jacked it up again. I was like, no, thank you. I'll just live with it. I know it's I ain't trying to do this.
I'll just build the muscle around it. It's fine. Like I am not about to do that again.
No, thank you. All right. So how are we going to handle this LSU game on senior night? I think we come out and just literally smack just the absolute hell out of them.
No, I agree. I think, I think it might be more than that. The boys are pissed, I think, about some stuff that happened after the Auburn game. Not mentioning it though, because whatever. And I think it is senior night too, and I think they're finally over the shock of Jaxson, and they're going to kind of play for him now. So yeah, I mean, and LSU's had some close games this year, some weird games this year. They've also not super great either. But I do think that it will be a 15, maybe 20 point win tomorrow. And we are not going to boo Damian Collins, okay?
I was just going to say that. We are
not doing that, because that boy has went through hell. And he didn't leave for any other reason except for family matters, and we know that. He's a good dude. Don't be shitty, BBN.
And even if he was a shitty person, every time we boo a former player, we've lost. Okay?
Yeah, don't do that.
Ohio State, we lost.
You are.
And Bradshaw didn't. Bradshaw didn't deserve it. I mean, he left and had new opportunities. We booted Dew and DJ and Z. We lose that game. Don't boo Damian. Do not do it.
I mean, don't do it. I mean, please don't do it. And yeah, I mean,
speaking of former big athletic forward/centers, you see Lance Ware doing his thing down there at like UTSA or whatever the hell he's at.
I'm so happy for him. UT Arlington.
He's balling. Yeah, is that what it is?
I'm so happy for him. I love me some Lance Ware. Okay, like he just didn't fit. I don't think he fit into Cal's stuff really well. Is a problem.
Big time energy guy. This is last year college ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Graduate college. Get your tail to TBT, bub. Come on, you can try to win $1 million. Him and Willie. Oh my God,
Lance.
Him and Willie out there.
Yes.
Someone is getting their face punched for sure. Yep.
Someone is being. Yeah, you're right. Someone's eating a fist for dinner. No, that'd be perfect. Actually, no, I like that idea. Lance, if you ever happen to listen to this podcast, you know what to do. Come back home. LSU, I think we win for sure. And then we go to Missouri on Saturday.
Yep, and we're winning that one too. We're going to close SEC play. Finally, coming on this daggone podcast with an undefeated week. It's finally going to happen.
Are you standing on business, Rando?
Yes, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Missouri, man, I don't know. God, it just...
Bear Grylls is going to have a terrible night, and I don't remember his first name. I was like, that's his first name? Like, I don't think that's his first name. Right? His last name is Grills, though, right?
Grill, yeah.
Grill, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The man looks like he's 45 with a 401k and a big event somewhere, I swear to God.
Yeah. Bear Grylls fits perfect. He's in Missouri. I think they have bears there. He's old as hell.
They think they have
good.
Bears. They think they have bears there.
Oh,
they got bears there. Yep. Shit, that's old as hell. Bears Grill. I don't know. No.
This show stinks.
This is what happens when we're both running off caffeine and just exhaustion, okay? Like, this is what happens. So, BBN, you're welcome for the shit show that you're listening to.
Yes. They're like, we've been listening. It's all UK ball. We expect nothing different. Yeah.
Oh, my face hurts from laughing. Nothing's really funny. I'm just laughing.
So I'm going to say we win this game 90-75. And
LSU?
Yep. We win 90-75. And player of the game, I gotta, based off my take, I gotta say Brea. He comes in there, not plug and play, but we go from A+ to like a B+ depending on how he's playing on defense, and that is enough. If he can average 18-20 a game over a month, 15-18. I won't even say 15-18 over with hitting 3 or 4 threes, averaging. We'll be all right. We will be all right.
We gonna be all right. Okay, let me see. I think it's gonna be 92-68. Okay.
All right. That's a big
and
win.
I think I told you I think it's gonna be a big one. I'm thinking like South Carolina levels of big. That's what I'm thinking right now. Okay. And
don't mean to interrupt you. Shout out South Carolina for smacking all Arkansas this week. Golly.
Arkansas shot 12.5% in the first half. Like, I have never in my life seen that.
Is that good?
Is that, someone please tell me, is that good? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that
you talking about the Arkansas baseball team? It's 12. Is that what you're talking? Geesh.
Shit. What was I saying? Okay, I said 92-68, right? Yeah.
Yep. MVP is
Butler.
I like it.
Butler. I think so. I think he's gonna have a field day. So I'm going with. Do you wanna make Missouri predictions too? So we're not gonna record after that game.
Ooh, okay. Yep, I will do it. Just throw it out there.
Okay.
Let me see what we got for the Missouri matchup.
I think that'll be a high scoring game too.
Caleb Grill, that's his first name. Did you say that?
Caleb? He's not a Caleb. That's a weird. That don't fit him very well.
Oh, I just saw his picture. From Wichita, Kansas. I don't like this dude's face.
I was waiting for. I told you, he looks like he's 45 though. The 401k and a white picket fence somewhere. Okay, like.
But he's gonna sell insurance, the shit out of some insurance later on. Yeah,
insurance or cars? Which one?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I trust him to buy a car out of. But if he called me on the phone, he's got like a. I think he's got a good.
He's got a good phone voice to sell things.
Phone voice, yeah. Oh, this one's okay.
They score pretty high too. They hung 110 on Alabama.
Yeah, averaging 84.6 a game. This, I don't know. The scores is going to be tough. I'm going to say we win that one 82-77.
Okay.
It's a close game, 82-77.
Mm-hmm.
The player of the game gotta be Ortega. I think this is kind of the game where it's going to be a little bit physical. He's got to have a big moment. I think we can contain. I mean, Caleb Grill is their leading scorer, probably because he can go off like a match. I know he can shoot the lights out of the ball.
He just chucks it up there from half court too. Yeah.
But Missouri's good. But I mean, you see that they have some big wins. But they lost to Vandy, yes, in overtime. They lost to Arkansas. I know we did too.
I was like, we lost both those teams. Like, you're not proving a good point here.
But I'm saying we got our revenge on Vandy, right? And they had a close game. Of course, they lost at Vandy. That building is just absolutely, talk about curse for other people. But I think we can get them, and it's just going to be a good way to close it out. Like I think we do start seeing this team start click. The Jaxson Robinson injury is not great. It's not good news for the team at all. But the fact that we got the news now, it's like, okay, he ain't coming back. So let's stop trying to figure out rotations and let's put a Band-Aid on this team until he comes back. He gone. So got to get over it, unfortunately.
I agree. So I'm gonna do, for some reason you're talking, this number stood out to me. 89-83 UK. And it's an Amari game.
Okay.
That's what I think. I don't know why it popped in my head. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but
I'm looking at it. The only guy that really worries me, Grill can go off, but Mark Mitchell, just because he's a 6'9" guard who can score multiple ways, and inside he can't. The boy can't shoot from outside to save his life, but he's a 6'9" guard who can get downhill and could potentially give us match. We just I don't know. We had a guy with that length who can stay in front of him. So, that might be a BG on defense type of game. Call your shot.
Maybe.
Call your shot.
Maybe it's what that is.
Maybe. But yeah, for me, I think that's got to be an Otay game. And
what'd you call him? Otaya?
Otega Owe?
Oh, I thought you said Otaya, and I was like, what? My brain malfunctioned again.
I might have jacked it up a little bit, but
shit, I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
we knew what I meant. Tegatron. OMFN way.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay.
Yeah. In Missouri, you should definitely boo this dude, just like Oklahoma did, because Otego don't give a single damn about your boos. All right.
He welcomes them. They're like candy.
He will come in to your house and have you leaving sad. That's what he's gonna do.
Have you leaving sad?
I really hope we get another year of Otega. I don't know what else is. We're just kind of rambling now, but we need senior year Otega Owe to come back on this team.
Air. Okay.
Yeah.
I need Otega.
Priority one in the portal.
Yep.
Lock down Otega.
Yep. If Otega adds a consistent jump shot for his senior year, we are talking ridiculous Otega. So.
Agreed. And just the continuity, have someone come back, knows the system, be the senior leader. We were just talking about that. We got three freshmen coming in who are all super talented, but we need some senior leadership there.
Yep.
And as we build out the portal again, or go to the portal to complete the roster, his presence on the team will be huge. We'll see if he starts getting some NBA talks. I don't think he gets poached by somebody else in the collegiate level. But
I think it's NBA or stay. I don't think there's anybody that's going to come in and steal him from us. I say that, dear God, knock on wood and cross my fingers and everything else, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Selena dropping bars as we leave. NBA or stay. Boom. You said you were tired. You still got it. We're going to come back on this show this weekend. And it's going to be an undefeated week. We're going to get LSU by a bunch. Missouri's going to be a tough game, but we're going to go on the road, get a big quad one win. We're going to end this thing as a 3 seed, go into the SEC tournament. We're going to make a run, and Big Blue Nation is going to find itself on a Sunday in Nashville and into a second, maybe even third weekend in the NCAA tournament, defying all odds. It's going to happen.
If we're on a Sunday in Nashville, I might take a trip to Nashville. Just saying.
Got to go if you're there.
It's only a 4-hour drive. Not a big deal.
Got to go.
So.
All right. That is a wrap for all UK ball.
Yes.
As always, go Cats.
Go Cats.
Get some sleep.
Yeah, same.
Peace.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Bleed Blue Network podcast. We hope you enjoyed diving deep into the world of Kentucky sports with us. Don't forget to stay connected by following us on Twitter at BleedBNation. Your feedback means the world to us. So take a moment to leave a review. Not only does it help us improve, but it also helps others discover the show. Until next time, keep cheering, keep listening, and keep bleeding blue.